Hello and welcome to another update video about ETH. Yeah, yesterday's video we made when we were just about to break this trend line, and even though it wasn't confirmed at that stage, I highlighted to you that I would assume this B wave has topped now, and we seem to be making nice progress in this wave C of a larger wave 2 correction, and it seems to be quite impulsive. Yeah, ideally we are reaching this green support area, as I've been mentioning all of last week, that this is support and that we'd like to see an A, B, C structure in this wave 2 correction. The A wave obviously completed already early last week. Then we talked about that B wave, which could have completed here on Friday. There was a potential for an extended B wave, but in both scenarios the idea was to get that C wave to the downside. So let's see how we are going to progress with that. I think the message from the last video was that early this week we might see a bit of bearish movement, and that I would see this currently only as a pullback in an overall uptrend. Just bear in mind, if this really is a wave 2 for ETH, then a lot of people will think the bear market is back, which it might very well be. You know, nobody's got nobody can look into the future, right? It might be, but bear in mind that at the moment everything just hints at this being a corrective sell-off in an overall uptrend, which are obviously interesting entry opportunities. Yeah, pullbacks in uptrends, and also remember that we've been talking about this, so it shouldn't be anything surprising that we get that C wave one way or another into this support area. Support area starts at $2,008, so basically between 2008 and 1,676. That's the key support area, with the critical support, down there at the 78.6 retrace, which is the 1676 level. As long as that level is holding, I mean, I have no reason to believe that the bear market is really back. So we want that, so we need a sustained break below that level to really, have a really good view that maybe even indeed, the bear market might be back. Until then, I see this simply as a corrective pullback in an overall uptrend. So yeah, I guess that might be a bit of a, how you say, maybe even a bear trap. Okay, so again, it's often what a wave 2 does psychologically for people. Yeah, so people will think in a wave 2, typically, the larger the degree, the more significant it is. Most people will think the bear market is coming back, and then will have been waiting for this pullback, but they will not act on it. Okay, just want to make sure that you understand that. That's been the case with the sell-offs that we've seen on the ETH chart before, especially here. This one that was in November 22, and this one, which was in March 23, which was when all the banks were going down. But negative news oftentimes in a wave 2. Now this was a much larger wave degree. This is a pretty small wave degree. Still could be a more substantial sell-off, creating some panic. So yeah, just make sure that you know what it means for your portfolio, for your trading plan. If ETH comes down into this region, I know what I'm going to do, which is adding a little bit as we go lower, and just continuing to build a new position. And I mean, at the moment, as you can see here, if this is an A wave, this is a B wave, then this really starts to form a nice C wave, which can be impulsive. Not entirely sure about the micro count here, but it seems as if the price is now moving down in a third of a third wave. I'm not entirely sure about this sort of nano count in here, but either way, the price should now stay below the wave 2 low to keep the downside pressure alive. That level is at $2,245. Above that level, the key level will be 2,261. And against these levels, the downside pressure should stay alive and should take us over the coming sessions into the support region. But obviously, as I just mentioned to you, there are always key levels that every analyst should give you to tell you when the wave count needs to be, or not only the wave count, but the working thesis, nothing else it is, it's just a working thesis, when that has to be revised. And that will be if we get a break above this level, 2245, because if this is indeed a 1-2 setup, then we should not get above that level until we've completed this C wave. So that's sort of what I'm going to watch for in the coming sessions, you know, over the coming days. We're also just breaking below structural support here. See, there is structural support exactly here around $2,150. We're just fighting with that. Here we had resistance here. It's quite an important one actually. Could accelerate the downtrend once we get a sustained break below that. Here. So it's quite an important one actually. So just getting back to that level. Of course, that means there's a potential for a bounce here as well. It's a bit of a range going down to around about 2,120. But that is a level to get through, and then I think we can come down quite quickly, and it seems like it wants to do that, to around about 2008. It now takes an impulsive break above that $2,245 level to suggest that something more bullish is going on. What could that be? Well, it could just be an extended B wave, for example. It will depend. If we see an impulse, obviously it would indicate that the third wave has started, which can happen very quickly. But for now, this doesn't look complete yet to the downside. There is one level to watch, which I've made you aware in the last video. There is one level to watch, which is not on the chart, but I will put it on the chart, which is going to be the 100% extension level of the A wave to the downside. Very important, because that's a key target for a C wave, even though that's above the standard support zone, but it's still a key level to watch. It's an extension level at $2,084. So I'm going to put that onto the chart now. I would say there's a high likelihood to break below it, but still we want to have it on the chart because I could be wrong about the micro count. It might just reverse there. The C wave is oftentimes reaches the same length as the wave A. Okay, now again, it's not super reliable. I'd normally like to see, for a more reliable wave 2, to see the price get to at least a 38.2 retracement, better the 50% retracement. Yeah, but I could be wrong about this. I mean, I could theoretically be wrong that this is a wave 2. What if this is some kind of a wave 4, which I don't think it is, but it could be. I mean, technically, you know, that there are probably ways to see this as a wave 4. And if this is a wave 4, yeah, it might just reach this level and turn to the upside. But then the micro count doesn't really suggest it. Looks like we are coming down in the third wave, and then if that's the case, it should break below this level. That's my update about ETH. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.